Today let us discuss about the git help, how to get help. Okay, so there are common git commands used in various situations, like, so some of them already we are very familiar with that. Cloning a repository. If you want to download a repository from the internet to your own computer, you can clone that complete repository. So then the clone command, init command, add. Then to work with the current change, you can go for adding mv command, reset, rm. All this is the whole list of different commands. You can get it. We can also get a complete list of all the commands with by writing git help with the space -a. You will get a complete list of the commands. You can go on pressing down. So these are the various commands that you can use it with Git whenever you are going to work with Git. Whatever we are going to cover in this particular portion is only some of the aspects, not the complete. So further you need to explore all these commands so that you can make this version control aspect very useful in a useful way. So that's about the how to get the help commands. So each command you can explore further by with the help of online help itself. You need not go for any textbook as well. Okay, so try to use as and when required. Say for example, if you say git help, then git merge commands, then it will tell you how to use merge commands also as well. Okay. Very detailed help. Type with the git, say for example, help config. Then various options for git config also you will get it. If you look into these particular options, look into the details here. What are the different details you are going to get? And how to configure, how to make use of those different options available along with each command. That also you can get it. Yeah. Now, once again, go back to the command line. Now let us start with some simple repeat. Of course, it is maybe a repetition. Now, if you look into, we are in a Git repository. In the Git repository, if you look into the log command, say for example, if you say git log, the current branch master does not have any commits yet. Nothing is stored here. Now let us try to create one simple file. Say for example, we go with the creation of one particular file. So whenever you want to create any new file, how to create a new file? You can go with the help of gedit. Then you can open one first file. Say for example, I am going to create a new file called pn.txt and ampersand, so that I can open a gedit Gedit is opened. Here I will create one. So you can create one text file, or sometimes if you are developing one web site, say for example, it could be one HTML file also. Now I am going to create a simple text file. This is, I will add some content here. My first edit. And then you just save the content here and close the file. Now if you look into this, you can see that one file is created that is called p1.txt. Now, so we created this particular file. Now if you want to commit this particular content, you need to add this particular file to the Git repository by writing git. Now assume that we are going to make several different changes to the p1.txt, and we want to monitor or track the changes happening to that particular text file. So then in that case, so that is the case, you have to add it to the version control system by writing git add p1.txt. Now if you look into git status, you can notice that what is the status. So what happened here? We are developing one file called p1.txt, and I want to track these changes. Sometimes there may be several collaborators who are going to edit this file and modify the file content. So now I edited this particular file. I added a few contents to it. Then I added it to staging area. So staging area, so or it's in the there, and now it is ready for tracking. But this whatever the changes we committed, the changes we committed is not yet committed to the repository. That's why you can notice that there is a message called no commits yet. Okay, you are going to get no commits yet. So now assume that you want to come at one particular point, the development of this particular file is over. I want to commit this file to the repository. Then the command is, you can write git commit and -m with a message. Then you can say that my first edit. This could be the content you want to create. Now this particular file is committed. Now if you check the status, git status, now you can notice that on the branch master, now we are in the primary branch or the master branch here, nothing to commit. So, but if you look into the content here, you can say that there is a p1.txt file. This p1.txt file is created and it is now being tracked. It is committed. One edit is happened and that is committed here. The changes are committed and saved. Now let us try with modifying this particular file. How to modify this particular file? Let me open that particular once again with the gedit, and file name is p1.txt with ampersand. It's a background process. Now, say now you can look into this particular content here. This is the first edit. Now I'm going to make changes in the code, or I will develop a program. I will add a few lines or a few modules into the file. So I indicate it with a simple change here. This is my second edit. And I change this and I save the content here. Now if you look into the status, observe it very carefully, you can notice that modified. Now you read these messages, that will give you a lot of hint. Now there was one file p1docs.txt. At one stage it is committed and saved in the repository. Now another second edit happened to that particular file. So some content has been changed, but it is not yet committed. Okay, it is not yet committed. So you have to get this particular edit or change to a staging area first, then only you can commit it. Staging area, you can compare it is of a shopping box or shopping bag. You put the item there, from there only you can go for building section. So now get it to the staging area by writing the comment. You can git add. Write the file name p1.txt. After that, after the modifying this particular content, now it is in the staging area. You can commit this in this stage of development. Assume that you have reached to a satisfactory level of code development, then you can commit the changes with the message. You can say git commit with one indication that anything you can write to understand or to track this particular change. This is a message to track to help you out what is happened in that particular edit, etc., or in the commit. That's it. Sorry. So far what we did, we created one file and committed it, and after that we modified that file p1.txt, and again we added it to the staging area to commit and committed also. Now you can look into this particular content. You can go for git log. Now look into the content here. The moment you look into the log, whatever is happened here, the complete history will be there. At 9:55, so I created first content and I saved it with my first edit. That is a tagline for that particular commit message. Okay. And after that, what happened to that particular file at then on date, such and such date, such and such user, author committed a change. It's one is at the 9:55. Another change, second change happened to that particular content. Added some data in second edit. This is how you can track the content. Now let me create one more file to it. Okay, let me create one more file, that is gedit p2.txt. Ampersand, because I want to create two files. This is second file, first edit. Now this content. Now if you look into the status, you can notice that p2.txt is created here. If you look into git status, git log, whatever the changes committed, that history will be printed. But when you say git status, the current status of the git is that on the branch master, there is an untracked file. Okay, one file is created, but it is not yet committed yet. Okay, it's not committed. Okay. So to commit this file, you need to say git. First, you get it to the staging area by writing p2.txt. Now, if you look into the git status, so you can see that changes to be committed. Okay, so there is a new file called p2.txt. p2.txt file is available here. And again, this is not yet committed. Remember that this file is not committed. You can go for committing this file as well. So you can commit it with the message git commit second file here with the hyphen message yum created p2.txt first edit. Now if you look into git status, so everything is committed, nothing to is remaining for committing it, and we are in the master branch. Now if you could look into the log, now you can notice that now it is very interesting in the git. So initially it will say that first edit, and then the second edit is what is happened. Then one more new file is created, p2.txt, complete history. So in return, what we did here is that we created one file, two files, and we modified first file, and that is also tracked. And we created a p2.txt also, that is also tracked, along with a 40-bit hash code. Okay. Okay, this is the pointer, and these codes are very useful to track the changes further when we can go for comparing what happened to these files, etc. So we can make use of this. Now, say for example, we created two files. Now let me give one command called git diff. Okay. You cannot find any difference here now because everything is committed. Let me edit p2.txt and do some changes here. My second edit to p2.txt. Some content is changed in the p2. Now you can see that all files are created, p1 and p2 is created. After that, I changed p2.txt after committing both files. Then this is a new command, note down, that is called git diff. What is the difference? Now to try to understand this particular output here, it's very important. there are two versions of p2.txt. One, initially I created p2.txt and I committed the content. It was committed. And after that, I edited the file once again. Here, say this particular file is edited and I modified some contents. Now, if you want to track what is the changes happened in that edit, what is the difference between first file and the second file, then you can track it here. This minus minus minus. Now p2.txt, there are two versions, one with the name a, pointer a, another p2.txt with the tag called b. One is the old version and another is the new version. The old version, it is displayed here, the second file first edit. That is the tag. The second changes whatever we edited after the modification of the content, that is also tracked. The difference between that is noticed here. Okay, here it is displayed in the new version is displayed in green color. You can notice it. And the old version is displayed with black color. Actually, here also you can go for configuring this with an option called. So remember this command called git diff. Okay, the first point today. In case both P1 and P2 is committed, and after that I opened that p2.txt and modified, and if I want to track what is the changes happened to p2.txt, that you can use it with find it with the git diff command. Git diff will tell you what are the changes. It says that p2 is changed. There are two versions of change. One is the committed version, another is the one which is modified but not yet committed. Okay, not even we brought it to the staging area. So this is the colored output you're going to get it. As far as getting this color is concerned, you can note down one more command here that is about command is called git config global. Note down this command color.ui true. Then it will give colored output. Say for example, if I say true, if I say git diff, it displays output in two different colors. Now I will say false, then see what happens. Another option for the same command is false. Now there is no colored output. By default, it will give you color. You can switch it off with a switch called false here. Then this output, old version and new version, P2's two different versions will be displayed in the same color. But to make the changes more, to give the more visibility to the changes, you can always say true here. You will get colored output. Old version will be displayed in black color and the second version will be displayed in green color here. Now, if you want to look into, say, no, this change is not committed. Again, you can commit back also. If you want to commit any content, now you have to add it to the staging area. Now let me commit the changes. I will get that particular file to the staging area by writing git add p2.txt. After getting it to the staging area, I can save both files, or if I modified both files, both can be added to the staging area. Now if I say commit, now I say for now again I will try with the diff command. You will see that there is no difference. There is no difference here. There is only one version of P2 that is in the staging area. If I want to commit that, I can commit it. File P2 is modified and brought into the staging area. Now git diff will not give you any output, but git p2.txt, that second change is not yet committed. That's why if you want to find the difference between that committed one, then you can see staged here. Difference between committed file and staged file. Then you will get the output. Git diff staged. Or you can also alternatively you can use cast. This command also will work. Now we can get to see the output. So now how to see the difference between commits? Now let me commit this change also. Okay, then I can commit these particular changes. So I can commit the changes by writing git because already one file is there in the staging area. So let me commit it with a message. p2.txt second edit. Is committed. Now what happened to both P1 and P2 committed twice after modifying the contents. So you can look into this git log. You can notice this. Initially, look into the last line here, the first edit at 9:55. I created my first edit. Then after that, I added to some data to it, second edit. Then I created P2. Then I committed, modified the changes, and I committed that p2.txt second edit. So both P1 and P2 after creation modified and committed. Okay. But what happened during these changes? When I say P1 is by looking into the log file, you can see that P1 is changed 2 times, P2 also changed 2 times. But what are the changes happened? If you want to see the difference between commits, you can as well as go for git log, this one line also. Git log one line will tell you the changes happen to both P1 and P2. Now to compare current state with the initial commit, there are 2 commits here. What is the change happened to that? Then you can git diff with respect to initial changes, what happened to. So you can write git diff and commit hash of initial commit. You can write what is the initial commit here is the, for example, I want to look into P1. Its hash is 943F2TA. Now you can notice that changes happen to P1 file. P1 is edited twice. One is the version A, another is version B. Okay. So you can track what is the what are the changes happened to the contents. The first edit and a second edit. The complete history, difference between git A and with respect to initial commit, what are the changes happened to the happened in the repository both P1 and P2. You can track it. To see the difference between 2 commits, that also you can do. Okay, in case if you want to say for example, once again go for git log. Okay. There is one more method in which you can see changes. Git diff. Take the initial hash value. I copy from here. Put it the initial commit value, paste. And second changes, second commit, I modified that particular file and I committed once again. That is reflected with the hash code. Press its hash code also. Now you are comparing the difference between initial commit and the second commit. Then it will give the difference or the changes happened only to the P1 file and P2 file. In the same way, if you want to track changes happen to P2 file, take the initial commit of that P2 hash code, copy, paste. Then second change P2, its hash code is, write the hash code of that. These are the initial 7 characters of hash code in each commit. Now you can notice that it reflects 2 versions of P2. Okay, one is version A and another is version B. What are the changes happened? And also you can notice that you can go for multiple modifications of that. Now let me modify this particular file P1 once again. Gedit p1.txt. So I'm going to edit it for third time. Some content is change it, save it. Now if you look into git status, it says that it is modified. p1.txt is modified. And you can add it to the repository. Git add. You can use git add command as usual. Write file name p1.txt. It says that file is modified. Repository. Sorry, staging area. Now it gives you the log file. The complete history also is displayed here. Okay. Whatever the committed changes, because P1's the third edit is not yet committed. If you want to commit that, commit the changes. Say commit -m, give some help file p1.txt third edit. Now you can notice that even the third edit is also marked here. p1.txt is modified or it is changed. Now if you want to track the changes happen to the P1 file, P1 file is changed 3 times, right? Now if you want to track it, then you can find out the difference between, you can say git diff, and you can take the commit hash, first 7 characters. And now take the first 7 characters of the last commit, third edit. Now you're trying to find out what changes happened in first edit and third edit. Now it will give you the complete history of the changes happened to p1.txt file here. So in this way, it is possible to track all the changes that is happening. And one more command you can use. Another way of doing this particular thing is use git diff. Now head and tilde. This symbol is called tilde. This head stands for latest revision, and head tilde stands for latest -1, just previous revision. Then it will say the difference between two different difference between two recent revisions. Okay, that is the difference here. In this way also you can find out. Head is the recent revision. Head tilde stands for previous, just previous revision, or also latest -1 revision. Similarly, head -2, if you say like this, head -2, that is the difference between recent one and recent -2 revisions. At any point, even if you modify a file for 10 times, you can track back. You can track back and you can find out what is the difference happened in the recent edition and the 5th revision. So in this way, in that case, you can write head -4, head tilde 5, head tilde 3, head tilde 4, etc. So on you can use. So another command is, say for example, the very useful is git show along with very useful command with the git. Let me clear the space once. I will repeat. The moment you write git show, shows the entire details. Okay. So this particular show command will help us in case of we are collaborating with the multiple people in developing this particular file. So it will say that p1.txt is modified 2 times, and what is the changes committed. First edit, second edit, and third edit, etc. Everything can be tracked. Okay. Old edits are in black color, and new changes mentioned here in third edit. The entire history of files also you can create with one more command. So remember git show command. Similarly, you can try to understand one more new command called git blame. The entire history of a file, you can get it. Say for example, if I say git blame, BLAME, then p1.txt. If you want to track the changes happened, you get this. See how p1.txt is modified during its development. You can track this with its hash codes. First edit, second edit, and so on. We edited p1.txt 3 times. That is reflected here, and you can notice that with the git blame command. Okay, try to execute these commands. So here with this we studied about comparison. Changes happened in each step or each development stage, how we can track it, etc. We discussed here. Complete history is with the git blame and file name. Similarly, if you say git blame p2.txt second file, that also what are the changes committed to that particular file, that you can notice here. Easily you can say that p1 p2.txt is changed 2 times, changed when along with the timestamp and changed by which user in the repository. You can have multiple users in the repository also. If you 5 people are collaborating, you can create that many number of users. That's about difference between the commands as well as the comparisons. So remember those commands. Then the next point we are going to discuss is about, so in the last class we discussed about a branch. Say for example, let me clear about this. If I say git status, we are on the branch master branch, or we can say git branch. This says that we are in the master branch. There is only one branch of development here. And in the last class, we studied about how to create a new branch. Say, for example, you can say git branch. We'll say B team. If I say git branch B team, and if I now say git branch, it says that there are 2 branches in this. Star mark is with the master. That's why now at present we are with the inside the master branch. Now assume that after developing this P1 and P2, you want to create a separate branch, your team B. Then you created a branch with the git branch. Now you can go to that particular. Now if you look into this command in the master branch, you can find 2 files. Okay. Now you can change the branch to you can go for checkout. B team. Now you will get a message that you are switched to branch B team. Now look into the file content here. You will get p1.txt and p2.txt here. The same files available for branch also, because your branch, your second team will take these files as an input for further development, and they will modify it in their own way. Now let me create one new file in the branch. So I will name it as, say, for example, gedit p3 bteam.txt. Let me add some content here. Just edit in branch for p3.txt, p3bteam.txt. Some content. I'm going to branch team, or your teammates, they are going to create a new file during the development state. Now check the content, ls. Now notice that in the branch, B team branch, you have three files, P1 and P2, which is derived from master branch, and P3 bteam.txt, which is created just now. You can add it to the repository as well. So now if you want to change the branch, okay, let me add it to the staging area. Okay, git add. P3 .txt, complete, write the file name, git add p3 bteam.txt. I take this particular file to the staging area and I commit this branch. Your B team or the branch B team committed this file. They reached to some stable stage during the development. They can say that first version of P3 B team .txt by branch B team. I will go for some details to understand this. Now, if you look into Git status, nothing to commit. I created a new file in a branch p3 bteam.txt and I committed it as well. If I look into git log in branch here, now look into the details here. Git log will tell you first version P3, third edit, complete history in the repository, whatever is happened. Now let me check out from this particular branch. I will go to the master. So in the branch, I created a new file. Now look into this. In the main branch, that new file is not visible. It is visible only p1.txt and p2.txt. It is not visible. Branch team developed a new module, but it is not visible here. If you try with the git log, you can notice that the changes happened in this branch team is not visible here. Whatever you're going to get is the details about primary branch only. Git status will say that you are on the master team, nothing to commit. So branch team is developing a file or content in their own way. Now assume that at some stage you want to merge this. You want to merge both branches once again. That is possible with the command merge. So you can merge master with the branch or vice versa. So let me merge this master. Okay. There is a command called git merge master. Then enter git log one line. Now look into this here. Already up to date git log p1 dot p2 dot p2 dot txt etc etc. You are in the master branch. Now go to the new branch, your BTM. Okay. Check out. You can see that what are the branches available now. Git branch. Okay. Git checkout BTM. Now you see, you can see your file p3 bteam.txt. Now if you want to merge this with master, or if you want to merge master here, you can enter git merge master. You can notice that master is already merged. P1, P2 is already available. It is up to date. You can revert back these changes also. You can go to, you can go with the undo the statements here, merging it with the git reset. Note down the command, undoing the merging command, reset --hard. Then I can say hit recent merge commands. If you want to, you can undo the changes also. Then you can say git log one line. You can notice that the complete history here, p1.txt third edit, p2.txt second edit, created p2.txt in the first edit, added some data in the second edit, my first edit, etc. etc. You can undo the changes. You can go to git checkout master. Then you can say git merge bteam. Now notice here, I went to master and after that I merged B team to the master team. That's what is happened here. I merged, I am inside the master branch. I merged B team. Now if I look into ls command, you can notice that, or you can notice git branch here. Note that we are in master branch. And if you look into the contents here, you can notice that whatever the file created in a branch is reflected in the master branch also. In this way, once if you delegate some work to a branch, they will do some modification. After that, once if they reach to a satisfactory stage, and if you want to take those changes implemented by your B team, you can merge two branches. From the master branch, you can say git merge your B team or the second team. Whatever the changes committed by B team will be reflected in the master branch here. That's what you can see here. In this way, very systematic, and delegate your work to other people or in the development team. So this is about branching and merging. Then in today's class, now just 10 minutes, I will tell you about stashing and cleaning. Now assume that you are going to create some content in the now look into the file content area ls. Let me do some changes in p1.txt. p1.txt. I'll say fourth edit onto the file. I edited p2.txt. If I look into git status, it will say that p1.txt is modified. Okay, it is, the file is modified. Now I am in the master branch. I am in the master branch. Now I modified p1.txt. I didn't add it to the staging area. Now let me try to change the branch. Say that you want to check out to B team. But here now you changed one file p1.txt, which is not yet brought to the staging area and committed. Now you want to check out to a new branch, git checkout, and say for example B team. Now if you say checkout B team, back master. Now if I look into the git status here, you can notice that it is modified. There is one option called slash. If I check out by forcing, by forced logout, the content will be deleted. Instead, I can say git stash save. For example, I may name it as stashed p1.txt because p1.txt is not yet committed or added to the staging area. Saved working directory and index state on master slashed p1.txt. Before committing, if I want to temporarily save it, that process is called stashing. It is I am saving my work here. If I look into git stash, now nothing is remaining, everything is saved. No local changes to save. And now if I say git status, also nothing to commit. It says nothing to commit, but I modified it. I have not yet committed. Remember, p1.txt is modified, but in this process I have not committed it. But I pushed it into a stashing area. It's a stash, temporary storage. Git stash. I can find how many files are stashed now. Git stash list. It says that there is one data that is stashed p1.txt. Its index is entered there. So it is for a temporary storage. So I saved a file safely without committing it, and not even I brought it to the staging area. I may want to look into that particular development state later instead of committing it. So I can save it temporarily in a stashing area. That is saved here. Then how to take the data from the stashed area and how to continue with the processing of that stashed file, that we'll discuss it in our next class. So till then you revise these commands. The hint will be go to the get and help command, try to revise all the commands whatever we have been working for till to date. Okay. If there is queries, if you want to make, you can make any queries.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you send us some notes and slides for Linux, and especially some solved questions? You know, the kind of questions that would come in the paper, because it
No,
would
no,
be
that
helpful.
you have to, no, that's why I am going in so in a detailed manner in the demonstration. No other materials except PDF of textbooks.
But sir, the recordings expire, sir. The recordings have expired
Well,
of the earlier
no,
ones.
you see that you need to download, right?
We
Downloading
can't
option
download
is,
those.
so only the textbooks I can give. I don't have any other materials with me. Okay, textbook PDFs are there. You can refer to that. I am referring to the book, or else I can share some third-party videos as well. Whatever is available with me, particularly for this Git repository.
That will be fine, sir. Can you also share some for Stream Editor and Gawk Editor?
That you refer to, so is given in very detail, very detail in Sumita Bada's textbook. Okay. Sumita Bada's textbook is the ultimate guide for it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, unfortunately, we are not getting the ebook of that. Okay, that is a problem with the Sumita Bada's. Ebook is not available. If you get it, you can share it with me also. The complete ebook is not available for Sumita Bada's. Okay. If I get some other good resources, third-party resources, I definitely will share with you people. Okay.
Sir, can you send previous year papers so that we know what kind of questions asked?
This is the first batch. This is
Oh,
the first batch. There is no previous year for this subject. You are in the new syllabus. Okay. See, if you have any doubts, okay, say because he is asking for some Gawk material, etc. If possible, if I get some useful stuff in the internet, I definitely will share it. Okay. But refer to the textbook, PDF books. Already I shared that PDF books. Refer to that. That is more than sufficient. Whatever is not there in the textbook, that's why I'm covering these things in a demonstration manner. Okay, I took time to do it in front of by sharing the screen. Okay, see you in the next class. Bye for now.